How do you enter Form 1099 NEC in TurboTax? So this is going to be in your wages and income. So on the sidebar on the left, find that wages and income section. And then underneath your income, if you don't already have part of this started, it's going to be in the self-employment section. So if you see here, Schedule C, which would include 1099, NEC, K, expenses, all that kind of stuff. So you drop that down and you just start that section. It's going to ask you if you had any self-employment income. So if you're filling out this form or entering it, then yes, you would have. And then it's probably going to ask, well, if you're on the free edition of TurboTax, then you're going to have to upgrade a little bit, like to the deluxe version. So we're going to go ahead and click that right now, because to file a Schedule C, you got to have that upgraded edition of TurboTax. No problem. You can continue. I was sitting there on the free one, but if that does come up, that's why it's coming up. And so it's going to ask you the type of self-employment work that you do. I'll just say design, and then it's that I own the business or I did the work. Continue. From there, need a little more info. Okay, graphic design, and hit continue again. And then, whether or not this is your side job, a business, main income, we'll just say it's a side job. Continue. We'll say we didn't start or stop in 2024, right? We started before that maybe. Hit continue, and then did we make any of these payments? So no, because we didn't send a 1099 form. And this is the steps that you have to go through to get to the spot where you enter in this form. And so any of these less common situations apply. I'm going to say none apply here. And then we have your graphic design info. Now, as we scroll down on these, there will be some information that we then have to provide now that we've sort of filled out our info, right, for our business, so our design section. So now we enter in the income for this side business that we had. And now we can check Form 1099 NEC. And from there, we can hit continue. And now it's going to actually let us input that information. So if you hadn't really started this section, you might not have gotten to that point to be able to see where to insert or enter your 1099 NEC. After this, we're going to just fill out all of the information here. I doubt I can continue without doing a little bit of something here. Who paid me? We're going to say YouTube, and we're just going to enter in a number here with a bunch of 5s. I don't know if that's enough. We'll find out. Hit continue. Good. Okay, we made it through. Here's the income we have so far. I didn't really put anything in those boxes, but you would. And then you can check yes or no if you have more self-employed income to add. So if you have multiple 1099 NECs, you would say yes, and then kind of go back through that process. If I don't have any others, then I would say no and hit continue. And then, I'm going to say no to expenses. We don't have to go through that for this. But in this example here, now in my wages and income, for my graphic design info. So if we go back to wages and income, I'm actually going to show you from the beginning here. We have self-employment income entered now with that 1099 NEC. And if we go review our self-employment income and expenses, we will see my graphic design work has a 1099 right here. So if you want to go edit it, you can review and edit that. You can also add another line of work. If you have, let's say you did graphic design work, and then there's another line of work of like video production, maybe you have a different side business for that, things like that. If you want to add more NECs or 1099 NECs to a specific line of work, you would click review, and that's reviewing all of my graphic design work. And here's where I would add more income, wherever that came from, right? So whether it's a 1099 NEC or something else, I would add that income in here. And so it might look a little complex, but as you go through that self-employed flow, where TurboTax is asking you all of the questions, you should be able to get to that point where you can start to add those 1099 NECs or any other forms that you need to for your income here on TurboTax.